forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Tell us about your adorable book, Let's Bake a Cake.
Yeah, it feels oddly surreal to even be talking about that it's a real thing. So Let's Bake a Cake is a rhyming story for kiddos, and it is about just a very cute little lion in his kitchen, bringing it all together from the very beginning of the process to the very end. So Let's Bake a Cake, it's my first book, and it is about just this adorable little lion going through the entire process. It rhymes along the entire story, and it's fun. It's supposed to be quick. It's supposed to be kind of, captivate the young reader, but not linger too long on a page type ordeal and keep the story flowing. So it's not overly long, but I wrote it in the sense of I thought it was fun to write and then fun to read to people. So I kind of always hope that transitions through.
How did you come up with the cake theme?
I am an avid baking show watcher. I don't bake a lot. I have decent skills in the kitchen, but I watched all of those Halloween Bake Off, Christmas Bake Off, the Great British Baking Show. I've seen 5 times every season. I just really have always been captivated by the creativity of those shows. And so it's even common in our household, Chloe's watching another baking show. And so I've just always enjoyed baking, watching it. The book, I always wanted to write a children's book. I just had always enjoyed reading them to my nieces, to my nephews, if I was babysitting. I just think they're always fun. And I, one night, was just a little bored, which sometimes is very important because boredom can spark creativity.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I feel like I might be able to try this. And I did. I wrote it in one night. It was just a moment. I just felt creative, and I was like, I'm going to do it. And I had different ideas, and I have a long document full of random ideas that some nights I would just throw a thought into, but just one particular night, I'm going on 3 years ago now. I was I wrote a line, and I was like, okay. And then I wrote the next one. I was like, all right, this is flowing. This is working. And I did it probably 90% of it. There were definitely some tweaks and edits that needed to be made, but I just had always been interested. And then one day just felt the creative drive and just decided to do it. And then I waited 2 years to actually publish it. But yeah.
Well, and that's huge too, because, first of all, so many people have the idea, I'm going to write a book someday. And then they never, follow through on that. So you did that and then took it to the next level of, okay, now this is published out there. And so that's huge. That's a huge accomplishment. So that is awesome.
Thank you. I got, in all transparency, a little sick of myself talking about doing it. I got to a point, it was New Year's Eve, and it's very much the time of resolutions and all of that. And I don't really know if I've ever stuck with the resolution, but I always appreciate the thinking about what you can do better,
right.
Thinking about goals, and what that time frame kind of, just brings about in all of us. And for me, it was this book, and I was I either need to make it happen or stop talking about making it happen.
Yeah.
And it was winter break. It was cold outside. It kind of made me dive into how can I bring this to life? I thought about illustrating it myself, but I'm not that skilled. I also was I don't know if I want to, train myself to be able to do that. Do I have options? And just the more I did research and realized the vast amount of options there are out there with freelancers and really how easy it is, I watched a YouTube video about how to self-publish, and I was like, okay. And just after spending a couple of days, I was like, I could do all of this. I could actually do this. And so that's what made me just bring it to life.
How did you find your illustrator?
I went to Upwork. So in a previous job, I had used Fiverr before. Mm-hmm. So I knew of these freelancing sites. I don't even remember. Someone just said Upwork to me. So I went on Upwork and I just searched children's illustrators, and pages come up.
Right.
And it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I hired a couple people who just like their style and the books that they had done kind of resonated into like what I thought that this could be. And I hired 2 people to do the cover. So I just wanted them to do the cover, and landed where I did with the illustrator that I had, Natalia, and she is spectacular. She's absolutely wonderful. I loved everything she was doing and bringing it to life, and it's so fun to see the process and what it is in my mind of the story, the characters and everything, and then seeing it like actually on paper and being like, this is real, was so fun. But yeah, Upwork, it was a great option. It wasn't crazy expensive to start there. I think it cost me $60.
Oh, nice. Well, she did a great job. Like, it's such an adorable book. Love the illustrations. So you picked a good one, because it's
thank you.
Such a
I nailed it with her too. She has already done artwork for other illustrators, and early she was like, how are you looking to publish this? And I was like, well, I saw on Amazon you can self-publish. And she's like, great, done that many times.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, awesome. And she was sending me screenshots of how to like upload my book and what to pick and what she knew how to design it. She knew the sizes.
Oh, nice.
There was a couple of moments where she's like, hey, you need one more page because you need to reach this amount. Like, she knew everything. And I was like just feeling spoiled rotten.
Right.
But I landed on picking her, and she was so helpful. And I just asked her to do my next book.
Oh, nice. Well, that was another question.
Crossed.
Yeah. So you are going to do another book?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we do you have an idea of what it's about, or are you keeping that under wraps for now?
Oh, no, I'll share. It was not my intention at all to do another one. My intention even with this one was just to do it because I wanted to do the project. It was never to, the fact that I'm even having an interview with you right now, like, blows my mind. The next one's similar theme, but instead of baking, we're hiking. That's also something that I love doing. We are very, very big hikers. So I'm starting to pick up on myself, the creative sparks or my own habits. But it is a hippo, and he is out on a hike, and it will still follow kind of a similar rhyming pattern and everything like that. But it's kind of, more ideas you're even seeing, and this whole like, let's blank is kind of maybe becoming a little bit more than I thought it would be.
Well, and that's what came to my mind is both of these books are activities that you can do with kids. You've written a blog for us about, the benefits of baking with children. But I love that your stories are things that you can do. You can read about it in this story, and then you can go do it with your child. I mean, that's just so awesome.
It wasn't intentional. It's just what came to me. And I like this subconscious, like, what do I enjoy doing was what's being put out on paper. And then, the tying it to children and kiddos. And it's the things that I really love doing. And so I'm a kid at heart. And no, it's very fun. The opportunity to write a blog for you all was really fun for me. It was another opportunity with writing this book that I just didn't even think about was a path or an option, and to really dive into that. And have even seen people who have read my book and then they go bake. Like, it's kind of like part of like a family thing that they have done one night. I've gotten photos from friends who have been like, we're baking now, and like they have my book there. It's just that it even resonates, this excitement of reading, but excitement of doing something was not what I like planned on, but I'm so thankful that it happened.
It's appropriate for any time. If you're looking for something to do with your child, that if it's bad weather outside or there's a special occasion coming up, or like, you wrote about in the blog, there's so many things you can learn from taking a child through the experience of baking. They're learning all these different things, and they don't realize that they're learning because they're having fun.
Yeah, it's math, it's science, it's creativity. I mean, baking, because I don't just watch baking shows, I even watch cooking shows, and they even talk about how baking is a science. You can't just freehand throwing baking soda into something. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you can freehand throwing salt into something. And it really is, and just breaking it down for kids, and it's fun. You get messy. You should get messy. there should be a cake there that you're throwing the most random things on top of it because you can, and then it tastes delicious afterwards. It's like rewarding the entire way through. Outside having to wait for it to bake, I see no downfalls.
Yes. Well, and I love your idea about decorating it anyway. Like my friend has kids that they bake cakes together. That's something they do on a regular basis. And the kids get to decorate it however they want. And they are so proud of their decorated cake. Like they just are like, yeah, I made this. Like such a fun thing to do. I love it.
Yeah. And when it sparks the creativity of just like there's frosting in front of you and candy and you can cut it up and you can stack it tall, like the limit, it's limitless.
Yeah.
Like there is no limit. It's completely where you want to take it and how far you want to go. I remember writing it, and there's a part of the book that's talking about all the things Lion is putting on his cake. And when I was writing it, it's like marshmallows and chocolate and then like a big pink bow. And I was like, I have no idea where the big pink bow came from, but I love it. Let's go with it. Lion, it's your cake. You can put whatever you want on it. Like, yeah, it's fun. And it's really fun to truly see like kind of a spirit of baking that it's like activated in some families and they're having fun with it. That's all I wanted it to be. It was fun for me to do. And if it's fun and bringing joy to other people, then I'm as happy as could be.
Well, that was my next question is what do you want people who read the book, what do you want them to get out of it? I just want them to have fun, like reading it, the pictures of Lion. I do have kind of an underlayer message behind the book. This might be getting very into the weeds of why I chose what I chose for the book, but the lion doesn't have a name. I just call him Lion. In my next book, Hippo doesn't have a name. His name's just Hippo. I do call him his, but Lion does have a mane that traditionally would say that he is a male lion. And I wanted it to be a character in the book because I wanted it to resonate with any reader. I didn't want to identify to me a race or gender or like anything. I just wanted a book that resonated with any child who read it. And I think characters and animals are a beautiful way to go about that. And so lions usually are like ferocious, and, you know, the king of the jungle. And this lion is baking and he's crushing it and he's having fun and his parents are helping him. His dad is in the book and his cake is pink and it is, I just wanted it to be connective and be friendly and approachable towards anyone who read it. And then if it sparked joy, and I've heard of like, this wasn't my intent either, but some kiddos having it memorized. One of my cousin texted me and she's like, we had to hide it. And I mean that in the like nicest way possible because we need a break. And I'm like, that's like the coolest feedback I could have ever done. Like that beats anything. So as long as it's bringing joy to the kids and joy to the parents, and it's not something that puts up any barriers towards a child's mind of what they can and cannot do, that's all I wanted out of it. I love that. And I'm so glad you brought up the dad because I love that part of the book that it involves everybody. Like, yep, we need dad's help too. And so it really does touch on, you know, it connects the family. So. Yeah,
oddly, the dad is one of my favorite parts in the fact that like half of him is cut off, but you can see how massive he is.
Yeah.
I thought the illustrations painted beautifully in that scene. I remember writing the direction for that scene and getting excited. I was like, ooh, I want the parrot to be there, but you can't see him. I want like a Charlie Brown type thing. Where like, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. And then with let's go on a hike, Hippo. Hippos don't really you think of as the most athletic, you know, like animal. But hippos can go hiking too. Anyone can go hiking. And so that's why Hippo was chosen for the hike. And I've got some other ideas too of just maybe, again, this might be underlining and like to me and what I meant. Who knows if it will ever resonate, but just by my reasoning.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the Let's Bake a Cake has already resonated. So I have a feeling the Hippo book going on a hike will too. Your book is obviously available in the Make Mementos collection for people to record, but if they want to get a copy of the print book, where can they do that?
Amazon. So right now it's only available on Amazon. It is eligible for Amazon Prime, which is really cool. You want it in 2 days, depending on where you live. But yeah, it's available in paperback, Kindle, and then a Make Mementos option, which is really cool.
Awesome. And where can people find you on social media if they want to see what you're up to with Let's Bake a Cake or your new book?
Yeah, so I just have Instagram for everything right now, just kind of starting off being a first-time published author. And it's Let's Bake a Cake _ children's book. However, I am recognizing with Let's Go on a Hike, I'm like, that might need to change here soon. So pop over to Make Mementos and I hopefully will be featured there a couple times.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's just evolving. So that's where you can find me right now. In 2 months, that name might change.
Got it. All right. Well, we'll keep checking back and we'll certainly keep people updated. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I'm super excited about your next book. So I'll definitely be keeping in touch with you about that.
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me and for partnering me with this. Again, my goal was just to do it, and everything that's transpired in meeting amazing people and companies like yourself to have also had an interest in it. I'm just that this is winning left and right for me. So thank you.
Absolutely.